Welcome back, Clumbox thinkers. Now, I know money isn't the most exciting thing for everyone, but let's face it, we all want more of it, right? Whether you're saving up for your dream car, paying off student loans, or just trying to live comfortably, money plays a huge role in your life, whether you like it or not. But here's the twist. Money doesn't just affect your bank account, it affects your brain. And surprisingly, how it affects your brain might change the way you see your entire financial future. Stick around because I've got a game-changing tip coming up toward the end, and trust me, you'll want to hear it. Before we dive in, quick shout out. If you haven't subscribed to Clumbox yet, what are you waiting for? This is your one-stop shop for unlocking the secrets to wealth, gaining control over your finances, and leveling up your lifestyle. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more mind-blowing tips. Alright, let's get started. You might think you've got money figured out, but here's the thing. Money doesn't just affect what you do with your paycheck. It has a direct impact on how you think, how you act, and sometimes even how you feel. And if you really want to take control of your financial future, understanding these mind-blowing effects will give you the upper hand. Number 1. Money makes you more self-centered. You've probably heard people say things like, money changes people, but it's actually more than that. When you come into more money, it literally changes the way your brain works. Studies show that having money, or even just thinking about it, can make people more self-focused and less empathetic toward others. Why? It's because money activates parts of your brain associated with self-sufficiency and independence. You start to see yourself as less dependent on others, and in turn, you become less focused on the well-being of the people around you. So, when you've got more cash in your wallet, your brain starts to work in ways that prioritize me, myself, and I. Here's the kicker. This shift can affect your relationships. Ever been around someone who suddenly got a big promotion or a raise and started acting, well, a little more all about them? You're not imagining it. The money is rewiring their brain to think differently. Number 2. Money alters your decision-making skills. We've all been there, debating whether to buy that new pair of sneakers or finally get the upgrade for your phone. But what if I told you that money influences how you make those decisions on a deep level? Research shows that people with more money tend to make riskier decisions. They're more willing to take financial gambles because they feel a sense of security that others might not. On the flip side, if you're struggling financially, your brain is wired to be more cautious and conservative in your decisions, avoiding risks because of fear of losing what little you have. This might explain why some people are naturally more inclined to start businesses or invest in stocks, while others stick to the safe route of saving and budgeting. Your brain is literally hardwired to act based on your financial standing. Number 3. Money increases stress and anxiety. Now, hold on. You might think that money equals less stress, but it's actually the opposite in some cases. When you don't have enough money, you stress about how to pay bills and put food on the table. But on the flip side, the more money you have, the more stress you experience about, well, keeping it. People with a lot of money tend to stress out about losing it, and it leads to anxiety over investments, taxes, or even protecting their assets. Ever noticed how some rich people seem more anxious than the average person? It's not all sunshine and rainbows when it comes to money. But here's the thing, financial stress is a big issue no matter where you fall on the income ladder. The brain releases stress hormones in both scenarios. What does that mean? More money can sometimes lead to more problems. Literally. Number 4. Money makes you overestimate your abilities. This one might surprise you. If you've ever been around someone who suddenly gets a financial boost, maybe they came into some inheritance or got a fat paycheck, chances are their confidence just shot up. That's because money literally makes us overestimate our abilities. When we have money, we tend to think we're invincible, and our brains connect that feeling of wealth to a feeling of competence. We think, I can do anything, I've got the resources to make it happen. It's a bit like when a kid gets their first job and buys their first car. Suddenly, they feel like they've got the world at their fingertips. Money makes us feel more powerful, even when it doesn't always match our true capabilities. Number 5. Money makes you less generous. I know. You probably think that people who have money should be more generous, but the truth is a little different. The more money you have, the less likely you are to give it away. Sounds harsh, right? Well, when you have more, your brain starts to view money as something that belongs to you. It becomes a symbol of power and control. The more you have, the more you hold on to. In fact, wealthy people are statistically less likely to donate to charity than those who are less financially secure. Money makes your brain less empathetic, less likely to share, and more focused on hoarding. Number 6. Money can trigger impulse buying. Even if you've been working hard to save, money can play tricks on you. When you have access to more money, whether it's in your bank account, on your credit card, or a recent raise, it can trigger impulse buying. Why? Because your brain starts associating money with reward. Your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good hormone, whenever you make a purchase, especially when it's something you want, but didn't necessarily need. Ever wonder why you can walk into a store, and suddenly you're leaving with a cart full of things you didn't plan to buy? Your brain has been tricked into thinking that spending money equals happiness. It's a dangerous cycle. But here's the good news. Awareness is the first step to breaking that cycle. Number 7. Money changes your view on time. One of the craziest things money does to your brain is how it affects your perception of time. When you have money, you tend to see time as something to be bought. You think, I can pay someone to do that for me, or I can skip the line because I have the money to do so. On the other hand, if you're struggling financially, time feels like a limited resource. You're constantly trying to make the most out of every second, squeezing in extra hours of work, or rushing to make ends meet. Your brain starts to treat time like it's either an asset to be leveraged or a scarcity to be managed. Number 8. Money makes you more status conscious. Let's be real. Whether we like to admit it or not, money makes us care more about status. The more money you have, the more likely you are to pay attention to social hierarchies, status symbols, and who's on top. It's like how people flex their new designer clothes, their expensive watches, or their luxury cars. Money makes you more aware of your social standing. It pushes the idea that wealth equals success, and that can mess with your self-worth if you feel you don't have enough. Number 9. Money affects your brain's risk aversion. I'm sure you've heard the phrase high risk, high reward, but here's the thing. Money actually changes how we view risks. When you're broke, you'll often avoid risks at all costs because the potential loss feels too devastating. But when you have money, you become more open to risky investments or choices because you feel like the safety net is there. Your brain shifts its approach to risk entirely based on the cushion of wealth you have. Number 10. Money can lead to chronic overworking. This one is especially relevant today, with hustle culture running rampant. When you start earning money, your brain gets wired to work harder, longer, and faster. Why? Because you associate money with success, and you think the more you work, the more money you'll make. But here's the truth. The overwork mindset can lead to burnout, anxiety, and exhaustion.